Yeah, obviously, we've got a game tomorrow night and looking forward to coming back to the hump and playing in front of a home crowd. Obviously disappointed with our performance in Maui. Not more so with the wins and losses, but the things we talked about as far as like the three things we want to do. I thought we played harder than the other teams for the most part, but I thought the two categories we failed in, I didn't think we played tougher than the other team, and that was pretty evident by the fact that we got out rebounded and gave up a lot of second chance opportunities on the boards. And when you're playing against quality opponents, like Texas, North Carolina, Marquette, you can't do that. But the thing that's most concerning for me is playing smarter than the other team. We continually put ourselves in a hole by turning the ball over. I think our assist to turnover ratio is a negative 2 to 1, and it should be the other way around as far as like a positive 2 to 1. So I know we got a young, inexperienced team, but the worst thing you can do on offense is give the ball to the other team, and we continually have that problem. So we got to get that rectified if we're going to beat anybody that's a quality opponent. So, we're doing some things here in practice, trying to make those adjustments, but the most important thing is our guys understanding the significance of the fact that we're not giving ourselves a chance to win if we don't keep guys off the offensive glass and we don't do a better job of taking care of the basketball.
Rick, if with where you are, just numbers wise, in terms of players, is it one of the more frustrating things just being able to hold guys accountable when they're not playing well and being able to sit them when you just flat out just can't?
Yeah, not more so from our guys being defiant. I don't think
No.
our guys out on the court being defiant or not trying to do the things that we want them to do. It's just the fact that like we've got guys that never played college basketball before and they're going to make mistakes, and we don't have the opportunity to take those guys out and talk to them about their mistakes and then put them back in. I think our guys are trying to do the right thing, but you got guys out there who've never played college basketball before and they're going to make mistakes and they need to be taken out and get corrected and then taken back in. And whether it's from those guys being tired or unfamiliar with the situation or not knowing the scouting report, I just don't have the opportunity to take those guys out at this point in time.
Talk about getting, I guess, obviously Colin back tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to help from a number standpoint too. It gives us another opportunity to sub somebody in, and I think obviously he's a kid that can make shots for us. He's a good passer. But the one thing that Collins struggled with was defensive rebounding as well too. So, he's got to come in and help us in that category. We'll be back in the same spot.
Trevante said he's really getting comfortable knowing his teammates' roles and just running the offense. Have you seen that from him?
I talked to our guys. I gave Duke as a great example of guys who define their roles. You got guys that go into Duke that are McDonald's All-Americans, and they end up just becoming basically guys who set a lot of screens and go get offensive rebounds. And like I said, that's what makes Duke so good beyond the talent and the coaching is defining the roles. And that's what we've been trying to do here these past couple of days is define roles a little bit more. And sometimes guys get their feelings hurt by knowing what their actual role is on the team. And we just got to accept that. Do you want to be a guy who's out there taking shots, or do you want to try to help the team win?
I know you got to, obviously, we hadn't talked to all the players, but, we saw that when y'all played here last at home, talking to Fred and the younger players. You got a pretty resilient group. I mean, Trevante seemed upbeat, ready to get back out there at it. I mean, is that, with a young team like that and not having many numbers, it almost better to have young guys so they will be resilient and not absorb the losses like a bunch of seniors may
Well,
will?
yeah, that's just that's the youth and inexperience, coming out again. Guys are just ready to bounce back and play basketball. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, but our guys, I think for the most part, I continue to say this, have been open to being coached and playing hard. It's just some other things that those guys, they were just totally oblivious to the fact of like their assist to turnover ratio as a team and individually just blew them away. And then we went through and we added up the points, as far as like what we gave up on second chance points against those teams and what we did as far as like points off our turnovers. And if you add those points up, like we're right there in the basketball game on each one of them. So I just think it's a learning experience for these guys. And the big thing is, are we going to learn from the experience out in Maui or not? Because I think guys got a chance to see like where we measure up against guys who are going to be playing against in SEC, and if we don't get better here before we go into SEC conference play, or even before we go out and play Providence, you know, it's going to continue to be the same picture, you know, when we go out and play quality competition.